Hi everyone, it's great to see you again. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Bill Benoist, and I'm all about embracing retirement with purpose, passion, and new beginnings. Guess what we're going to talk about today? My passion for photography. My purpose is this YouTube channel, new beginnings is retirement, and my passion is photography, and specifically creative photography. So it all started in college. I did a degree in photojournalism. At the time, I was doing some freelance work and I started a business. I called myself the photographer of the unusual because I was doing pet portraits at that time. I had freelance gigs with local newspapers, Auburn Journal, Roseville Tribune, the Lincoln Times. I even did some work with magazines, Motocross Magazine, Karate Magazine, did some other gigs, but I started doing work as a freelance photographer doing pet portraits. And I was having fun doing that because it's unusual if you think about it. It's not people portraits, it's pet portraits. And I called myself the photographer of the unusual. Fast forward to today, there's many years. We're talking, this was 1979, and now it's 2025. Many years have passed, and I have these two cameras here, the Sony a7 III and the Fuji X-T4. I was using a Canon M50. That was my first camera after this one, and I was tired of reading about it being an entry-level camera. I wanted something that didn't, wasn't being referred to as an entry-level camera. I could care less if it was an intermediate, but I wanted something that was just a little bit more professional. And I ended up buying the Sony a7 III. And as I mentioned, I'm all about doing creative photography. So one of the things that I started practicing with on the Sony was intentional camera movement, where you would have a filter on the lens. I would use a ND 6-stop filter, so it would darken the exposure, so you can decrease the shutter speed, make it a slower shutter speed. And when you're taking a picture, you would just go ahead and move the camera slightly or up and down. And one of the things that I liked about this camera, because it had the telephoto zoom, I could also zoom in and zoom out as I was taking the shot. Started having some fun with intentional camera movement because, again, I was the photographer of the unusual back then. I then picked up the Fuji X-T4 because I kept reading about this, and people were saying this was their favorite camera. This was a fun camera. Yeah, the Sony is a great camera. It is boring, but I got to tell you, this is a fun camera. The film simulation with this camera is amazing. But one of the things also that I like about it is it has the in-camera multiple exposures. The Sony didn't. And so I started getting into multiple exposures where, again, doing creative work, I've never been one for typical landscapes or typical portraits or typical street photography. I wanted to do something more creative, more unusual, photographer of the unusual, that talk about full circle in life. So one of the other lenses that I ended up buying was this Lens Baby. If you're not familiar with Lens Baby, this will create a interesting blur on the sides, but notice that you can actually move the lens left, up, and down here. And imagine shooting with this, so it's creating a very unique blur with that. So there you have it. This is my passion. Started with a Minolta SRT 201, taking pet portraits, migrated over to the Sony, doing intentional camera movement, and then coming over to the Fuji, where doing multiple exposures. And also with both of these cameras too, I do something in what they call the Pep Ventosa style, which essentially I'll find a subject. Usually it's a tree or something that I can walk completely around. And about every 2 or 3 steps, I'll take a picture and then I'll move, and exactly the same distance, I'll take the picture again. Usually we'll get maybe 13, 15, 17 pictures of that, and I will take them into Photoshop and I will layer them, and it produces a really cool impressionistic look. So that's my passion. And I would be curious to hear what your passion is, because that's what retirement is all about. I mean, we have that reward of time. We have the time to follow our passions. So thanks for stopping by. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, as I do upload new videos every Tuesday. And I would hate for you to miss anything. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Take care.